A Hokage fan travels through the world of Hokage and becomes the protagonist Naruto. The genius protagonist, who is familiar with the plot of Hokage, embarks on an unusual journey, inheriting the bloodline of the limited realm. Xiao. 5 hidden. What's all this worth? The use of ninjutsu can be ever-changing, and the development of ninjutsu has no end. Most importantly, talent and effort. Keywords of the novel. Naruto Hokage Genius with no pop-ups, Naruto Hokage Genius TXT Complete Collection Download, Naruto Hokage Genius Latest Chapter Reading. Chapter 1. Crossing. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 1. Crossing. A poor family with a somewhat ugly appearance and not very outstanding academic performance, coupled with a father who has high requirements for exam scores, makes Xiao Jian, who is a high school student, live a life like a year. At home, it is common to be blamed by one's father, and at school, it is even more common to be ridiculed by teachers and classmates. The beautiful high school era that was originally depicted by many people, in Xiao Jian's view, has nothing worth nostalgia for. High school, a place full of sincere friendships from student days, a place where love begins to sprout, and a gathering place for talents who believe that knowledge can change destiny. There may have been beauty and innocence that do not belong to this era. And today, at least in Xiao Jian's view, everything is so unsatisfactory. I also wanted to have academic achievements that would make my parents happy, but subjects like English are so annoying. When dreaming, there was also an impulse to talk to a girl, but seeing that contemptuous gaze, I knew it was better not to embarrass oneself. Perhaps the only pleasure lies in the online games that adults refer to as poison. The reason why they become addicted to them and seem to have endless motivation to secretly surf the internet in internet cafes is more due to various unsatisfactory and unavoidable factors. Apart from online games, the most beloved ones are a few RB animes, Hokage, an anime that I have been exposed to since elementary school. The protagonist in it can be said to be a typical *** silk counterattack, from being despised by others to being recognized and even called a hero as a successful person. The reason for liking it is not only due to the recognition of the anime itself, but perhaps more importantly, it comes from the resonance of the soul. More often than not, I keep flipping through Hokage in my spare time, not even missing out on every detail. At the same time, I often think that if there really is a world like that, being the protagonist once, although not recognized in the early stage, due to my unlimited potential, it is also a good thing that I can change my situation through hard work. Although it may be difficult, there is still hope. It seemed that this idea was too strong. That night, he had a strange dream about an old man with a long white beard and a black scepter in his hand, especially his eyes. That's right, it's the eye of reincarnation. Xiao Jian was shocked and said, "Are you the legendary 6 Paths Immortal? How could I see you?" The old man laughed and said, "6 Paths Immortal, ha ha ha, he has only surpassed the limitations of space to a certain extent. I am a completely transcendent existence beyond the limitations of time and space. Without further ado, let you become a Naruto once." When he woke up, he found that the house he lived in was no longer the same as before. I have become a child, and through the mirror, it is obvious that I have become Naruto, and I am the Naruto of my childhood. Firstly, there was shock and disbelief. Next, I looked around and suddenly, I had a headache. I accepted Naruto's previous memory, so at least my language was not a problem. With these memories, observe around and confirm that you have truly traveled through time, and that time has become the protagonist. Xiao Jian, who was not very satisfied with his original life, decided that since he came to this world, he would prepare to do a good job and become Naruto from now on. Naruto looked at the extremely rudimentary house in his own home, and then at the bustling area of Kiba Ninja Village. He immediately understood. No matter which world you are in, strength represents everything. With strength, you can do well anywhere. Without strength, you belong to the bottom group no matter where you are. In the world of ninjas, personal combat power represents strength. At this point, Naruto, who understood the plot of Hokage, first thought of enhancing his own strength. In the world of Hokage, there are several factors that determine strength: chakra, ninjutsu, and combat skills. Among these factors, Naruto has a large amount of chakra, and there is also a 9-tailed chakra. Combat skills need to be accumulated through practical combat, and what can be cultivated through personal cultivation is ninjutsu. When it comes to ninjutsu, Naruto greatly admires the Sharingan of the Uchiha clan, which can replicate the ninjutsu of others. With the continuous evolution of Sharingan, it can also cast illusions, even Shin-A, Susanoo, and so on. If it can evolve into a reincarnation eye, it can also control the existence of life and death. But first of all, Naruto does not have the bloodline of Uchiha, and it is not possible to seize the eye of reincarnation with current strength. But if you have the strength in the future, you really need to give it a try. But now all we can do is start with basic chakra control, as well as some basic skills such as body techniques. Make up your mind, Naruto can do whatever he says. First, you can only start with the simplest exercise, running every day, doing push-ups, and constantly exercising your body. I even practice some simple Chinese martial arts to improve my reaction ability. The third generation Hokage continued to peek through the crystal ball as usual, seeing Naruto starting to exercise, and couldn't help but think, I know I'm going to ninja school soon, I'm starting to exercise. A few days passed quickly, and the day of enrollment was approaching. As soon as I entered the ninja school, I realized that all the classmates were really those people. Although they were not very old, they could easily tell who they were at a glance. After almost everyone arrived, Teacher Irika walked in with a smile, but after a simple week of scanning, there was a hint of disgust when the gaze was fixed on Naruto. This is no wonder, it can be considered human nature. However, due to the regulations of the third generation, it cannot be too obvious, so we had to proceed with the next work. Hello everyone, my name is Irika, and from today on, I will be your teacher. First, let's introduce ourselves briefly. When Naruto introduced himself, he naturally wouldn't be so foolish, but he still said he wanted to become a powerful ninja. There are significant differences between the current Naruto and the original work, but one thing is quite similar. It's just that the same person prefers beautiful women. Looking around the whole class, Chunai Sakura is indeed a beautiful embryo, Inoue in the mountains is also pretty good, and Hinata will be considered the great beauty in Hokage from now on. Unfortunately, Haruno Sakura does not like Naruto, but rather. Naruto saw Sasuke sitting in the corner at a glance, and it was indeed highly consistent with the original work. Speaking of which, Sasuke is also quite capable, feeling lonely like Naruto, but this is not something that Naruto can change now. The reason why Chunai Sakura and her beautiful women like Sasuke is simply because of their excellent grades and handsome appearance. If you want them to like you, you need to start from these 2 points. As the days passed by, Naruto learned a lot of knowledge at ninja school. Although it was quite boring, it had to be said that what he learned at ninja school was still quite useful. However, what surprised Naruto was that it seemed that these things were not as difficult as in the original work. It was difficult to understand how he changed his talent after crossing over. In fact, it is natural that the soul inside the current Naruto is completely different from the previous Naruto, and his talent is naturally different. As the author of this book, I also love Hokage very much, but unfortunately this anime has already been completed. Writing this fan book can also be considered a bit of nostalgia for Hokage. The book may not describe too much about what is already in the original work, but the key is how our story will change when the protagonist changes. End of this chapter. Chapter 2. Chakra. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 2 Chakra. As time passed, the ninja school began to teach the method of extracting chakras. Chakras were formed by the fusion of physical and mental energy. After Naruto learned the method, he returned home and began extracting chakras. It is said that few people can succeed at once, and those who can succeed at once are basically geniuses. When Naruto sat down and began to refine, he found that it was incredibly smooth. Moreover, with continuous attempts, he found that his chakra output was really not ordinary. In fact, in terms of physical energy, as descendants of the Vortex clan and the fourth generation Hokage, they are definitely not inferior. As for spiritual energy, there is a fusion of two souls. However, the large volume of chakra is one thing, and whether it is well controlled is another matter. The reason why Naruto has always been called the crane tail is because chakra's control is not good. So now Naruto needs to work hard to improve his chakra control ability. Therefore, Naruto not only goes to the forest every day for physical training, but also practices climbing trees and standing on the water surface. The former can improve physical abilities, while the latter can strengthen chakra's control ability. Day after day passed, and as usual, I came to the forest to practice running and other activities. Suddenly, I saw a child wearing a green tight-fitting suit also running. Needless to say, it was Xiao, who was blooming with youth. Seeing him, Naruto suddenly had his own plan and immediately ran towards him, shouting loudly, "I want to challenge you." Sure enough, Xiao's eyes were blazing with flames. "Teacher Kai, someone has challenged me, so I will accept your challenge. Take action." Naruto punched past, and Xiao quickly dodged. Naruto took advantage of the situation and spun a kick. Xiao skillfully blocked it with his hands and kicked it towards him. Naruto could only block it with his hands, take advantage of the situation, retreat, and then charge forward with another flying kick. After nearly 30 rounds of fighting, Naruto gradually lost his support. Although he also underwent a certain amount of physical training, one thing was that Xiao trained more than Naruto, and the other thing was that Xiao was truly a genius in physical training and had extremely strong combat skills. Finally, Naruto couldn't resist, but didn't want to lose too badly. He quickly called out, "I admit defeat, but next time I must defeat you." Xiao nodded cautiously and said, "You are a respected opponent. Apart from Ning Xi, I have another opponent in the future. I look forward to your next challenge, and I will also work hard." As he said, he extended his thumb and made a standard pose. Naruto was in a cold sweat about this. However, this encounter with Xiao did bring about a new improvement in Naruto's physical skills. He only memorized most of Xiao's moves in one go and continuously integrated them through his own practice. A few months have passed in the blink of an eye, and Naruto has made great progress in various aspects. Firstly, in terms of chakra control, Naruto can now walk on tree trunks or slowly on water. In terms of physical skills, due to frequent learning with Xiao, there is no stronger player in the same level than him. At the same time, the use of ninja tools has also improved through his own practice. After such a long time, even the students with the worst qualifications in the class have basically extracted chakras, and ninja schools have started teaching the most basic three-body techniques. For these basic ninja techniques, Naruto can basically learn them at once, which has also attracted the exclamation of many girls in the class. However, Naruto himself does know that learning and mastering are two different things. In terms of simple stunt doubles, Kakashi is one of the better ones to use, while the rest of the lower ninja is generally not very good. So, whenever Naruto has time, he practices his three-body technique, hoping to reach a state like Kakashi or even better soon. After learning the three-body technique, the battle between Naruto and Kobayashi changed from a simple physical combat. Naruto occasionally used stunt doubles or clone techniques, while Kobayashi did not use ninjutsu. This makes Xiao increasingly difficult to cope with, as the competition often ends in a draw and sometimes he can even win a move or two. However, Xiao still bloomed his youth as usual. Naruto knew that Xiao had not unloaded his weight, let alone used the 8-gate doujin. However, Naruto did not rely entirely on physical skills, nor did he consider using this method. Moreover, Naruto's current age is not suitable for weight-bearing, and the 8-gate doujin places too much burden on his body. At present, Naruto has made some progress in controlling chakra, constantly practicing physical skills, and using the three-body technique fairly well. Coupled with good talent, it can be said that with the accumulation of time, their strength will definitely become stronger. However, Naruto himself knew that the speed of improving his strength was still not enough, not as good as the Uchiha Itachi back then. Although he would gradually be called a genius, it was still not enough. Naruto looked at the attitude of the villagers and most ninjas towards him, knowing that strong strength is necessary to be recognized. However, back then, Uchiha Itachi was taught ninjutsu by his father, while Naruto was clearly not possible, at least not yet. And what ninja school has learned is no longer enough to meet Naruto's needs. So, how should we learn ninjutsu? You can't invent a boring asterisk technique. Now Naruto needs to establish a perfect image. At this moment, Naruto thought of something. End of this chapter. Chapter 3. Sealed Book. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 3 Sealed Book. Not bad. The thing Naruto came up with is the Book of Seals, which contains many forbidden spells, from the lowest level of shadow clones to high-level ninjutsu such as ghost sealing. However, stealing sealed books is not a small matter. However, Naruto remembered that in the original work, Naruto easily stole the Book of Seals. Upon second thought, it must be the third-generation Hokage who also hoped that Naruto could improve his strength and become a ninja like his father's fourth-generation Hokage. Moreover, Naruto is a ninja with 9 tails, and poor physical strength is not a good thing. So, it's hard to say that the third-generation Hokage intentionally let him steal it. Thinking of this layer, it seems that the sealed book is not so unattainable. However, the book that steals seals cannot be without one person, said Shuemu. That night, Naruto went to bed early and rested his mind. The next day, he headed straight to Mizuki's office and came straight to the point. Mizuki teacher, I heard that there are many powerful ninjutsu techniques on the sealed book, but I don't know where the sealed book is, he said. Sure enough, Mizuki's eyes darkened as he listened. Naruto, I know where the sealed book is, but you can't tell anyone that I told you. Naruto couldn't help but laugh. It seems that Mizuki has been drooling over the sealed book for a long time. However, on the surface, he still pretended to be very cautious. I know it, Mizuki teacher. So Mizuki told Naruto the location of the sealed book and thought to himself that he could finally use Naruto to steal the sealed book. After learning about the location of the sealed book, Naruto decided to steal it that night. So that night, Naruto secretly searched for the place where the sealed book was located. Although he knew that the third Hokage was likely to know, it didn't matter much when he thought about it. Firstly, the possibility of third-generation Hokage releasing water is ruled out. Even if it is truly discovered, as a child, we will not receive too much punishment. Moreover, Shuemu is expected to eventually become the scapegoat. The location of the seal book was also guarded by ninjas, and it is unknown whether it was due to special luck or other reasons. In short, Naruto successfully stole the seal book, but it was discovered shortly after stealing it. Naruto ran away holding the sealed book and thought, the sealed book won't stay in his hand for too long, and water and wood will definitely appear afterwards, so it must be done as soon as possible. So he immediately entered the forest to hide and opened the sealed book. The first ninjutsu was the technique of multiple shadow clones, which must be learned immediately so that he could have a chance of winning against water and wood later. The imprint of the shadow clone is very simple, in other words, it is an improvement on the basis of ordinary clone techniques. Naruto can master it with a little practice, but the disadvantage of this move is also very obvious, requiring a lot of chakras, so it is not suitable for ordinary people. After learning the shadow clone, Naruto immediately started reading the following content. He didn't need to learn, just remember the methods of cultivation. Naruto just looked at the commonly used spiral pill in the future, and after watching the Flying Thunder God's art, Iruka appeared. Naruto, come back with me. Naruto stood up and walked towards Iruka, thinking to himself, this has come too soon. I haven't even learned a few ninjutsu techniques. Suddenly, Shuemu launched a surprise attack from behind, and Iruka was hit by several swords in his hand, seriously injured. Originally, Naruto could push him away, but he wanted to see if Iruka would treat him so well. Shuemu saw that Iruka was seriously injured and began to attack Naruto. A huge sword flew towards Naruto, but Iruka actually blocked the way with his body and shouted, "Naruto, run quickly." Even if Naruto didn't belong to this world, he couldn't help but feel a moment of emotion. So he picked up Kyumo and walked towards Mizuki. Mizuki saw Naruto walking towards him and grinned at him, "Hand over the Book of Seals, I won't kill you." Naruto didn't answer and rushed towards Mizuki. Seeing Naruto charging towards Mizuki, Mizuki burst out laughing, while Iruka nervously shouted, "Naruto, run, you're not Mizuki's opponent." Seeing Naruto kick over, Mizuki immediately put away his smile on his face. Picking up Kowu to parry, Naruto's movements were like flowing clouds and flowing water, one move after another, continuous and continuous. Shuemu's more and more attacks made him more and more frightened, thinking to himself, "I'm careless. This is not the strength that ninja school students should have." However, after all, Mizuki is on the same level as Iruka. Although he was caught off guard by Naruto, he gradually fell into a disadvantage over time. However, Mizuki was also very anxious. If he was driven over by the village's upper ninja over time, it would be bad. When he saw that Naruto was a child, he took a heart-wrenching approach. So he stopped on the tree trunk and said to Naruto, "Do you know Naruto? Actually, Iruka has always hated you because you are the nine-tailed fox." Iruka was told by Mizuki before he could stop him. However, Naruto did not have much reaction. Naruto glanced at Iruka and said, "How could someone who hates me go all out to save me? It's you, Mizuki. You used me to steal the Book of Seals, but in the end, you wanted to learn the forbidden spell on it yourself." Mizuki saw Naruto reveal the truth and was so angry that he let you discover, little ghost. So go die now. Seeing Shuemu rushing over, Naruto couldn't help but feel amused and immediately formed a seal. The technique of multiple shadow clones, with thousands of clones effortlessly separated, Shuemu saw himself trapped in a sea of people and immediately lost his fighting spirit, trembling with his legs as he held on to Kowu. Naruto couldn't help but laugh when he saw his cowardly behavior and said, "What's going on? Didn't you just say you wanted to kill me? Bring your horse over here, okay?" After finishing speaking, all the clones rushed forward and beat Shuemu half to death, to the point where Shuemu's figure completely distorted. Iruka was very happy to see her students being so amazing. At this moment, Naruto walked towards Iruka to examine his injuries. Fortunately there were no fatal injuries. The two of them walked towards Hokage's office with half-dead Iruka. Huiying saw Iruka, who was seriously injured, put down his pipe and sighed, saying, "This is all due to water and wood. Iruka, why don't you go back and recuperate?" End of this chapter. Chapter 4. Rapid Growth. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 4 Rapid Growth. The most important thing for Naruto this time is to learn the technique of Shadow Clone, followed by the cultivation methods of Spiral Maru and Flying Thunder God, which must be said to have yielded great rewards. The reason why Naruto is so eager to learn Shadow Clones is to accelerate his cultivation speed. Using Shadow Clones can double his cultivation speed, but without Yamato's cooperation, Naruto can currently maintain a maximum of about 100 Shadow Clones for cultivation. Cultivation and combat are different. Combat emphasizes instant bursts, while cultivation must be maintained for a long time. Being able to achieve this is still due to Naruto's good control in chakra and strong mental energy. Even though it can only maintain around 100 people, it is already very terrifying. From then on, in a corner of Kiba Ninja Village, almost every night, hundreds of people would climb trees together, or stand and run on the water surface, or throw darts to hit targets. Fortunately, Naruto chose a relatively remote location and no one noticed. On this day, Due to not attending classes, Naruto went to the forest as usual to practice. Suddenly, he saw several children surrounding a little girl, and upon entering, he found that it was actually Hinata. Although somewhat introverted, she will still grow into a great beauty in the future. Naruto jumped out of the forest and shouted loudly, "What's the point of a few people bullying a little girl? Get out of here quickly." All they saw was a young boy of similar age, and a group of children laughed heartily. Everyone went up together. The technique of multiple shadow clones. Naruto separated 20 shadow clones and surrounded them in the middle. Seeing that the situation was not good, someone called out, "Everyone run quickly," and the children disappeared without a trace. Naruto did not chase after them and turned to Hinata, saying, "Whoever bullies you in the future will come find me." Hinata remained so shy and said in an almost inaudible voice, "Thank you, Naruto." Seeing her hero successfully saving the beauty, I thought to myself, this beautiful woman will definitely never forget herself in the future. So he waved his hand and pretended to be very carefree, saying, "You can come to me if you need anything in the future." Then he left. Although it was a small matter, it left a deep impression on Hinata's heart. Naruto didn't expect it to be so simple as to capture the heart of a beautiful woman. It seems that he needs to pay more attention to his image in the future. When it comes to image, Naruto first changed his hairstyle and got a standard handsome guy hairstyle. Coupled with Naruto's excellent performance in school, he is known as the genius of this generation like Uchiha Sasuke, and has also attracted the attention of countless girls. However, unlike Sasuke, Naruto prefers to get along with people more than to be like Sasuke, who is like a wooden person. So, Naruto is more popular among his classmates. The days of school continued as usual, and Naruto constantly relied on the method of shadow avatars for cultivation. Soon, he became extremely proficient in tree climbing and water practice, and he took control of chakra to a higher level. It seems that he should also learn the techniques of Spiral Maru and Flying Thunder God, but he cannot let go of his physical cultivation. Whether it's the Spiral Pill or the Flying Thunder God technique, the difficulty of learning is particularly high. Even with the Shadow Clone, improving cultivation speed is not an easy task, and Shadow Clone has a drawback, which can accumulate fatigue. This resulted in Naruto dozing off during class, but as a good student, Irika did not make things too difficult. On the other hand, Naruto's appetite is astonishing, and in this regard, it is thanks to the care of the third-generation Hokage. Anyway, Naruto can still eat enough. Through long-term ninjutsu practice and the practice of shadow clones, Naruto's speed of practicing ninjutsu can be said to have reached a very alarming level, and several years of ninja school have been quickly passed through Naruto's practice. On this day, we finally welcomed the graduation exam of the ninja school. The exam questions were very simple, just to test physical fitness, 3 body skills, and some basic ninja knowledge. For Naruto Vortex and Sasuke Uchiha, who are hailed as geniuses and have captivated countless girls in their class, these are simply simple things that cannot be simpler. Over the course of several years, Naruto not only mastered his 3-body technique to a level very close to Kakashi's, but also his body technique could be said to be only slightly inferior to that of Xiao. In the case of 2 shadow clones, Xiao had to give up. In terms of ninjutsu, not only did he master the Spiral Pill, but he also mastered the extremely abnormal ninjutsu of the Flying Thunder God. However, this is a unique skill that cannot be used until the critical moment of life and death. Due to Naruto's handsome appearance, excellent grades, and being more approachable than Sasuke, Haruno Sakura prefers Naruto to Sasuke, but still somewhat like Sasuke. Shortly after the exam, grouping began. Sakura Haruno and Inoue Yamanaka both hoped to be grouped with Sasuke and Naruto, but in fact, grouping was based on the abilities of each member. In the end, Sakura, Sasuke, and Naruto were still grouped together, not to mention how happy Sakura was, and Naruto naturally did not ask the foolish question of why they were grouped together. After grouping, it was Ueno who waited to lead them to practice together. Kakashi was known as the late king, Naruto just slept on the table. Sasuke was a relatively quiet person, only Sakura Haruno was the most impatient. After enduring walking for a long time, Kakashi, wearing a mask, appeared at the door with a sentence. "Sorry, I'm late." Naruto was not surprised by this, and Sasuke was slightly dissatisfied. Sakura looked like she was about to explode, and although she was late, Naruto felt that Kakashi was still a good person. End of this chapter. Chapter 5. Kakashi's Trial. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 5 Kakashi's Trial. My name is Chimu Kakashi, and I don't have anything I particularly like or dislike. I have many dreams, said Kakashi, taking them to a high place with beautiful scenery to introduce myself. My name is Naruto Vortex, and I enjoy various ninjutsu techniques. I don't have anything to dislike yet. My dream is to become a more serious person than Hokage. My name is Uchiha Sasuke. I don't have anything I like, there are many things I dislike. My dream is to kill that man and revitalize the Uchiha clan. Yes Sakura, I like, looking at Naruto and Sasuke. I hate people with thick eyebrows, and my dream is. I heard a drop of sweat fall from Kakashi's head. After introducing himself, Kakashi began to assign tomorrow's assessment. If he failed, he would be sent back to ninja school for re-study, which surprised Sakura and Sasuke. And it is specifically stated that they must arrive at 5 o'clock and cannot have breakfast. After speaking, it disbanded. Although he knew that Kakashi would be late, Naruto arrived at the agreed location with Sasuke and Sakura before dawn. However, Naruto came behind his back and waited for 2 hours to see Kakashi not coming. He took out breakfast and ate with Sakura, causing Sakura to look at Naruto with admiration. Undoubtedly, Naruto had already prepared for it. Naruto, on the other hand, pretended to be mature and said, as a ninja, solving the problem of eating is a necessary survival skill, which has already been mentioned in the ninja school. Seeing Sakura's flower-obsessed expression on her face, Naruto thought to himself, successfully attracted, it seems there will be a play in the future. After finishing the things I carried, I waited for a long time before finally appearing. Seeing the garbage on the ground, Kakashi's eyes furrowed and he said, it seems that some of you still know how to prepare. Alright, let's not say anything else. You must grab the bell in my hand before noon, otherwise it won't be qualified. Remember, you must have the determination to kill me. Just as Kakashi finished speaking, Naruto thought to himself, although he has made great progress in his cultivation in recent years and has learned quite powerful ninjutsu, he ultimately has no practical experience. It is still very difficult to win without exposing the Flying Thunder God. However, Kakashi actually tests the collaborative ability of several people, but Naruto does not want to lose too badly, which will affect his perfect image. With this in mind, Naruto immediately pulled Sakura and Sasuke aside to discuss tactics. None of the three of us can be opponents of Ueno, so we must cooperate. If it were someone else, Sasuke would definitely consider it a burden, but Naruto is seen by Sasuke as the only opponent that can be compared to him, and Sasuke nodded in recognition. Sakura said, there are only 2 bells, how can we cooperate? Naruto smiled and said to Sakura, as long as we haven't caught it yet, this is not the issue we should consider at all. After hearing this, Sakura nodded in agreement. So Naruto discussed tactics with Sakura and Sasuke, and after discussing, Kakashi let out a sound and began to hide each of them. And Kakashi opened the book of 18 prohibitions and began to pretend. Accompanied by a sound of the shadow clone technique, 10 Narutos rushed out of the grass and directly towards Kakashi. Kakashi didn't pay attention to Naruto performing the shadow clone technique, but was shocked by the punches and kicks of several Naruto. This is not the strength of Xiao, it is almost close to Zhongren in terms of physical skills. But this only made Kakashi a bit flustered. As an experienced ninja, it was impossible to lose just like this. Under the siege of 10 clones, Kakashi used his stunt double to transfer smoothly. However, Naruto, who was also proficient in stunt double, quickly found Kakashi's hiding place and threw his sword in his hand. Kakashi quickly put away his book and jumped out of the grass, saying, "Good strength, but not enough to defeat me." Naruto didn't answer, and 10 shadow clones rushed over. Suddenly, one of the shadow clones quickly formed a seal, fire escape, the art of the giant fireball. This startled Kakashi and he saw Sasuke, who had unlocked the transformation technique, performing fire escape. "I see, Sasuke is hiding in the shadow clone." After speaking, he immediately used his earth run to prepare for a surprise attack from underground. When Sasuke saw Kakashi disappear, he remembered Naruto's previous instructions and knew that he must have used the earth escape technique. He immediately jumped up. At this moment, Naruto's other shadow clone regained the appearance of Sakura and punched fiercely at the ground where Sasuke had just stood. Just as Kakashi was about to come out, he felt the waves coming from the ground and thought to himself, "The coordination is perfect." So he moved to the grass and breathed a sigh of relief, ready to use ninjutsu. At that moment, a black shadow flashed by and the bell on Kakashi's waist was snatched away. "Nani?" Kakashi turned around and Naruto was smiling at Kakashi with a bell in his hand. Kakashi instantly understood. Originally, Naruto only had his shadow clone, Sasuke, and Sakura launch an attack, and he had been hiding in the grass. Kakashi had just dodged Sasuke and Sakura's attack, and in a moment of carelessness, he let Naruto take the bell. Kakashi shrugged helplessly and said, "I didn't expect the three of you to develop such a perfect coordination strategy in a short period of time, without any internal strife caused by only 2 bells. Naruto must have contributed a lot to this." At the same time, he also thought to himself, "You are truly the son of Teacher Watergate. In the future, you may become a genius who surpasses the teacher." Kakashi turned around and said, "Qualified, you must remember that those who break the rules in the ninja world are considered garbage, but those who do not value their companions are even worse off than garbage. Considering your perfect performance today, I will treat you to dinner." But the next moment, Kakashi almost regretted it and was scared by Naruto's appetite. However, Zhongren's income was very considerable, and no matter how much he ate, Kakashi could still afford it. Naruto is quite satisfied with Kakashi becoming a teacher, as he is also known as a clone ninja, with thousands of replicated ninjas, which is a good thing for guiding his own cultivation. When it came to learning ninjutsu, Naruto suddenly remembered that besides knowing his wind attribute chakra, he didn't know if he had any other attributes of chakra. He looked for an opportunity to ask Kakashi for advice. End of this chapter. Chapter 6. Tasks. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 6 Tasks. After forming a group with Kakashi, Naruto knew there would be many boring tasks, but there was nothing he could do. However, whenever he had free time, Naruto would ask Kakashi for advice on ninjutsu. Kakashi took out a piece of paper to test his attributes and found that Naruto's basic attribute was the wind attribute, which did not seem to have changed due to reincarnation. However, the ninja had to constantly cultivate to develop attributes they were not good at. So, for Kakashi Road and Kakashi Teacher, are there any other ways to master other attributes besides basic ones? Kakashi said, under normal circumstances, one should first master their basic attributes, which is most obvious for improving their strength. However, there are also individual cases that cannot be ruled out. Kakashi looked at Naruto while saying, remember, practicing attributes that one is not good at can be more difficult than 10 times. But in Naruto's view, difficult things are more interesting, so he began to cultivate other attributes in Kakashi's way. However, from the current situation, Naruto still decided to cultivate the fire and thunder attributes first. Sure enough, it's not easy to cultivate one's basic attributes. However, Naruto himself is a genius, and with the addition of shadow clones, his speed has increased by 100 times. As the saying goes, it's not easy, and his cultivation speed is at least 10 times faster than that of ordinary people. About a month later, Naruto had already gained a certain level of mastery, so he approached Kakashi to learn ninjutsu. Kakashi taught Naruto 3 ninjutsu techniques, the wind escape wind blade, which is a chakra technique that uses the wind attribute to generate strong winds that blow towards enemies, while also producing a small amount of wind blades. Its main function is to interfere with the enemy's line of sight and movement speed, while causing a small amount of damage. Lei Dun's electric shock can cause the current to strike the enemy along the conductor. Another one is the familiar fire escape ninjutsu. These 3 ninjutsus are not particularly powerful, but it also depends on who is wielding them and the level of mastery of the ninjutsu. For example, the same fire escape may have terrifying power in some hands, but some may not have any power at all. For now, the mastery of chakra has come to a temporary end, and Naruto has started to practice new ninjutsu with shadow clones. In fact, learning this type of ninjutsu alone is very simple for Naruto today, but what Naruto requires is to master it very proficiently. Fortunately, with the method of practicing with shadow clones, the speed is also considerable. While practicing ninjutsu, Naruto began to feel dissatisfied with the task. It was meaningless to catch some cats and dogs every day. Therefore, when completing a task, Naruto suggested taking on a more difficult one, and Sakura and Sasuke nodded in agreement. However, the 3rd generation Hokage did not agree and reinterpreted the principles of the mission. Naruto also knew that Hokage had the principle of Hokage, and missions were assigned based on strength. Therefore, he walked to the window and used the Hokage technique taught by Kakashi. He saw a huge fireball spewing out from the window, and if he used it against enemies, most Nakano would only be able to drink hatred. Seeing Naruto unleashing such a powerful fire escape, Lord Hokage thought to himself, I didn't expect a genius similar to Itachi to have mastered the fire escape to such an extent in just 1 month. He picked up his pipe and said, since that's the case, I agree with you to take on the C-level mission. You send this old man to the land of waves, and after that, a drunken old man walks in. The difficulty of the C-level task was originally the same, but this time it's different. This time, when encountering a ghost, they won't kill again. This can be considered a challenge for Naruto, who lacks practical combat experience. Especially since Naruto knows that the 9-tailed chakra is harmful to his body and will not be used easily, it will take some effort to win. After packing up his things and embarking on the escort journey, Naruto didn't waste time arguing with the old man. He just brought the necessary things, packed his bags, and set off together. On the way, a few people also chatted and laughed together, getting along quite well, and there were no dangers along the way. Until passing by a puddle of water, Naruto couldn't help but become nervous. It was impossible for a puddle of water to appear on a sunny road, so someone must have intentionally let it go. There must have been other ninjas doing so. Naruto and his group had just walked through the water when 2 ninjas jumped out and used strange weapons with chains to kill Kakashi. Immediately after, he attacked Naruto, who had not seen any blood before. At this moment, Naruto still appeared very nervous and immediately used a stunt double to dodge when he was about to be attacked. Sasuke, on the other hand, can easily deal with it, using his sword and the iron chain of Kowu to deal with enemies. As Sasuke has seen bloody scenes of killing since childhood, he appears more composed than the stronger Naruto at this moment. However, the incoming mist immediately gave up the attack on Sasuke Asahi's client Dasna, and at this moment, Haruno Sakura, who was by Dasna's side, was too nervous to move. At this moment, Kakashi appeared in time and quickly killed 2 Fuin. The only thing that had been taken down earlier was a wooden stake. After easily eliminating Mist Hidden and confirming that its purpose was for Dasna, Kakashi proposed that this mission should be at least AB. level or higher, which has already left the scope of the mission and can be terminated. Haruno Sakura, who was greatly frightened, also had this idea, but Sasuke and the newly emerged Naruto thought it was a rare opportunity for exercise and wanted to continue executing. When Dasna revealed that he didn't have enough money to pay for the commission fee, he planned to continue the mission in accordance with Kiba's consistent humanitarianism and the demands of the 3 ninjas. Naruto and Sasuke insisted, and Sakura naturally wouldn't object. The group took a short rest and continued to advance towards the country of waves. After killing 2 miscellaneous soldiers, the big boss of this mission should soon appear if he doesn't kill him. Even though Naruto's current strength is not bad, it is still difficult to face them without actual combat experience. Fortunately, there is still Kakashi among the team who can withstand the challenge. End of this chapter. Chapter 7. No more slashes, appear. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 7. No more slashes, appear. There were no major obstacles along the way, but Kakashi suddenly fell down and startled everyone. As he lay down, a large knife flew over his head and chopped onto the tree trunk. At the same time, a strangely dressed person stood on top of the knife. The white cloth mask, sturdy muscles, and lightning-fast speed clearly demonstrate the extraordinary strength. As one of the 7 ninjas, Zaibujan and the replica ninja flag Kakashi are well-known ninjas, and their information comes to mind when they meet each other. Kakashi, a replica ninja who replicates thousands of ninjutsu. If not executed again, with blood on his hands, he is known as a ghost. He once killed more than 100 ninjas of the same period during his ninja school trial, and it is not an exaggeration to use a killing machine as a metaphor. At this moment, both of them were well aware of the strength of their opponents. Kakashi moved his forehead and revealed his Sharingan, which surprised both Sakura and Sasuke. Sasuke was surprised that Kakashi possessed the bloodline of the Uchiha clan, while Sakura was surprised by the strength of the Sharingan technique. If he doesn't cut his promise, his goal is only Dazna, and since Kakashi has promised to protect him, he will never break his promise and there is no room for negotiation. Kakashi asked Naruto and his team to quickly form a swastika formation to surround Dazna in the middle. If they didn't cut it, they would start to seal, and fog would start almost instantly. The killing intent of both sides erupted in an instant, and Sasuke was crushed and unable to move. Naruto, who had a certain level of strength, was also stunned at this moment, but quickly adapted. However, if not beheaded, it would appear silently among them. The silent killing technique was fully utilized at this moment, and in the next moment, it could cut off Naruto and the other 4. Speaking slowly, at that moment quickly, Kakashi instantly reacted, and his Sharingan flashed with a red light, like a teleportation. He inserted Kowu into the abdomen and saw water flowing out of it. He immediately understood that it was a water clone. At this moment, Kakashi appeared behind Kakashi and cut him off with a knife, but the severed Kakashi was only a water clone. And Kakashi appeared behind him, struggling to stand on his neck. Kakashi is truly worthy of being a replicator of ninjas, and in an instant, he replicated the never-ending ninjutsu. At this moment, he suddenly laughed and said, "You can't win against me just by copying." After speaking, he instantly turned into water and turned out to be a water clone. His true form appeared in an instant, and Kakashi was kicked into the water by him. The ninja who used the decapitation sword indeed had good physical skills. Kakashi wanted to temporarily hide in the water, but when he realized the situation was not right, it was already too late. If he didn't cut it off, he ran over and quickly sealed it and cast it, Water Escape, the art of water prison. Kakashi was trapped inside the water prison, and without cutting off one hand, he maintained the art of water prison. With the other hand, he formed a water clone with one hand, ready to deal with Naruto and others. Seeing Kakashi trapped, Sakura and Sasuke both felt hopeless, as if they had only been killed. Although Kakashi was trapped in a water prison, he smiled and looked at Naruto, as if saying, "You should have adapted to actual combat." Naruto understood Kakashi's meaning and quickly formed a seal. Wind done, wind blade, the powerful wind blew up the sand and dust on the roadside. Even if you don't chop, you have to use your strength to resist this wind force. Occasionally, you swing your decapitation knife to resist the wind blade. The water surface was also blown up with quite a few waves. And the real surging waves were indeed in his heart that he never cut. He immediately understood that this child was not an ordinary little ghost. At this moment, Naruto, accompanied by a hurricane, rushed towards Noa Noa Jean and swiftly killed Noa Noa Jean's water clone on the way. Then, he threw several swords into Noa Noa Jean's hand, and when Noa Noa Jean dodged his sword, a small but windy foot appeared in front of Noa Noa Jean. If you don't chop again, immediately release the water prison technique and block Naruto's foot with both hands. However, Naruto's foot transmits a force that is not equal in size to his foot, and if you don't chop again, you will be repelled. Seeing Kakashi escape from the water prison, Naruto quickly jumped back and returned to his previous position. At this moment, Sakura's eyes were full of admiration. He is truly Naruto, and in this situation, he can still handle it so easily. Naruto gave her a smile as a gesture of course. At this moment, Sasuke clenched his fist. Did the gap between me and him unconsciously become so big? On the other side, Kakashi, who regained his freedom, and never cut again, started the fight again. Kakashi completely copied the action of Never Cut Again, and only saw the two people running on the water exactly the same, and at the same time, they performed the water escape. Water tap, two water taps hitting together. However, the same ninjutsu seems to only lead to a draw. In the next moment, the scene changed, and Kakashi seemed to be able to predict the future, knowing what to say if he didn't chop the next sentence, and even knowing his thoughts if he didn't chop the other side. However, his heart was greatly frightened by Kakashi's move. Suddenly, Kakashi completed the seal without chopping again. With a sound of water escape. The art of the great waterfall, he was hit by the powerful water flow and used his hand to strike back. He was hit by the water flow and hit a tree without calming down. Several painless shots had already blocked his movement. Kakashi was about to solve the problem of not chopping again when 1,000 books flew out of nowhere and hit the crucial point of not chopping again. In the neck, if not chopping again, he instantly breathed a sigh of disbelief in his eyes. The one who shot out Qianben was a young man wearing a mask, but Kakashi could basically tell from the mask that it was the pursuit unit of Wuren. Kakashi knew that if he didn't kill again, it was Wuren's betrayal, and it was only natural for Wuren's pursuit troops to kill him. He then checked and found that there was indeed no breath left. Since it is Kakashi, the pursuit unit of Wuren, it is difficult to say anything, and although Naruto knows it is a disguise, he does not want to expose it. Because Naruto is more looking forward to the next battle, which will be a rare and practical experience. At this moment, Sakura was shocked by the cruel methods of the masked boy, while Sasuke saw that everyone around his age was stronger than him, and his fists were almost bleeding. The masked boy expressed gratitude to Kakashi and then carried away the body that was not to be beheaded. As soon as Bai and his companions left, Kakashi suddenly fell down. Using the Sharingan for a long time consumed a lot of chakras. Naruto and his team immediately helped Kakashi up and rushed to Dazna's house to recuperate. At the same time, they began to ponder whether there would be another battle for Bai if he didn't kill him. End of this chapter. Chapter 8. Meeting again. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 8. Meeting again at Dazna's house. Kakashi woke up and realized something was wrong. He didn't dispose of the body on the spot and used a regular flying needle. If he didn't chop it, he might still be alive, which shocked the others. However, at this point, he could only think of a solution to the problem. Kakashi proposed a way to enhance his strength through cultivation, but Sakura said it was impossible to catch up in a short period of time without cutting. However, when Kakashi mentioned the progress of Naruto and Sasuke, Sakura remained speechless. However, a sarcastic Inari came out and said, "It's of no use at all, you'll all die. Those who resist Kado will all die." Naruto hates this pessimistic child very much, and if he gets a little hit, it's like the whole world will be ruined. He just said, "Don't think everyone is just like you, a useless person." Inari wanted to counterattack, but was held back by Dazna. Inari immediately ran upstairs, and Naruto was not interested in what he was going upstairs for. In Naruto's view, the weak should find ways to make themselves stronger. Pessimism has no effect. Kakashi led Naruto and others to the forest for cultivation, which involved climbing trees with her feet. This was indeed a certain difficulty for Sakura and Sasuke, while Naruto had been practicing for a long time. After Kakashi finished speaking, Naruto instantly climbed to the top of the tree, and Sakura also climbed halfway up. Sasuke climbed the lowest. Kakashi was lucky enough to say, "It seems that the Uchiha clan is just like that." Excited, Sasuke almost found someone to fight for him, and then secretly made up his mind to surpass Naruto. Naruto said to Kakashi, "Teacher, I am already very proficient in these. Can you guide me in other practices?" Kakashi looked at Naruto and said, "Yes, these don't mean much to you anymore. So, let's go over there." After that, he took Naruto to the other side of the forest. Kakashi found an open space and turned to Naruto, saying, "Naruto, last time I saw you cultivate the wind escape I taught you to such a skilled level in a short period of time. Its power is even greater than mine, because I am not good at wind escape. I believe you have learned about fire escape. Next, I will teach you the combination of wind escape and fire escape ninjutsu." Combining ninjutsu, Naruto has long thought about it, but combining ninjutsu is not simply a combination of two ninjutsus. It requires a balanced ratio of chakras to achieve it, and mastering the tricks involved requires a lot of effort. And Kakashi hardly uses combination ninjutsu, not because he doesn't want to use it, but because Kakashi's chakra capacity makes it difficult to use high-intensity ninjutsu while maintaining shadow clones. Even if successful, it would waste a lot of chakra, which is not cost-effective for ninjas like Kakashi. However, despite possessing the Sharingan and replicating thousands of ninjutsu techniques, he still knows the tricks behind them. So he began teaching Naruto how to combine ninjutsu. But knowing the tricks is one thing, practicing it is another, and this kind of practice requires 2 or more shadow clones to work together, which slows down the speed. However, the time for 3 days should be around, and combining ninjutsu with one's own shadow clone is relatively easier than combining with others. The high-intensity practice made Sasuke's appetite comparable to Naruto's. Seeing the two of them eating like this, Kakashi couldn't help but smile slightly. However, Sasuke's progress this time was also very obvious, which can be considered as not embarrassing Uchiha. However, due to physical issues, although Haruno Sakura has made some progress, it is not very obvious. Counting the days, if not beheaded, it would almost appear. Naruto and a group of people followed Dasna to the bridge. Before leaving, Naruto separated 2 shadow clones to protect Dasna's family in case of any unexpected events. When we arrived at the bridge, the fog had already started to rise. When we saw the fog, a group of people began to be alert. After all, ninjutsu in the fog could be considered a sign of no longer killing. Not long after, no longer killing, we appeared from the fog with Bai. Bai is a speed-type ninja, although he can handle it for Naruto, Sakura may not be the same. Baisho rushed towards Sasuke first, but Sasuke was not knocked away as expected. Instead, he was able to match Bai's speed and took on Bai's move. It seemed that several days of hard work had not been in vain. I was also surprised to see Sasuke being able to withstand Bai's continued inaction, but I still have confidence in Bai. But his gaze swept towards Naruto, which was the only factor that worried him. In the situation where Bai was unable to attack for a long time, he cast a magic mirror ice crystal on Sasuke, trapping him in it and constantly attacking at an extremely high speed, while Sasuke was only defended. Seeing that Bai had finally used his skills, he had originally planned to attack Sasuke both inside and outside in order to break this move more easily. However, Naruto felt that it would be meaningless, so he calmly walked into the magic mirror ice crystal. Seeing Naruto walking in, he burst out laughing and said, "I used to be worried, but now it seems that those 2 little ghosts are destined to die. They actually walked in and died on their own, they're just idiots." After finishing speaking, wielding a large sword, he attacked Kakashi while unleashing a fog that was even thicker than before, to the point where it was completely invisible, in order to block Kakashi's Sharingan. Meanwhile, he used silent killing techniques to attack. In this situation, Kakashi immediately fell into a disadvantageous situation. The battle situation was very unfavorable. On the other hand, Naruto walked into the magic mirror ice crystal and found that Bai's speed was indeed very fast, and he matched the ice mirror perfectly. It would be difficult to deal with it solely through physical skills. Breaking the ice mirror was the most direct way, and at this point, Sasuke was already in a state of embarrassment. Upon seeing this situation, Naruto separated into a shadow clone and quickly formed a seal. The wind-escaping blade is the technique of the fire-escaping giant fireball, the combination of ninjutsu and the wind-blazing fire. Naruto's previous ninjutsu was already very powerful, and this move was even more terrifying. Under the strengthened fire escape through the wind escaping, the white magic mirror ice crystal was simply unbearable at this moment. Not only was the magic mirror ice crystal instantly shattered, but he was also instantly killed in the powerful flame impact. Seeing Naruto's powerful ninjutsu, Sasuke's heart turned upside down and he even opened his Sharingan. And Sakura, on the other hand, is still obsessed with flowers. On the other hand, if he didn't see Bai being killed again, although it felt unbelievable, in his eyes, Bai was just a killing machine and it didn't matter if he died. He continued to attack Kakashi under the cover of thick fog. Upon seeing this scene, Naruto once again formed the seal, wind done, super, fast wind. Immediately, a strong gust of wind blew up. Although it had no attacking power, the thick fog immediately dissipated. Without thick fog as a cover, Kakashi could easily see through any action without chopping. After a few moves, Kakashi used his own signature ninjutsu, the Richi. Naruto also saw this move for the first time, and the use of changes in nature and form did indeed have impressive attack power. With the cooperation of the bloodthirsty Will I, he rushed over and pierced through the heart that was never cut again. Even if he is already dead, he can still be considered a respected opponent if he doesn't kill him. If we don't cut it anymore, Carl actually came over with a group of garbage, and Naruto also sensed the information coming from the shadow clone. They did indeed go to Dazna's house to find trouble, but were solved by the clone. Naruto is extremely disgusted by characters like local snakes, and even before their dog mouths can say a few words, he uses a combination of ninjutsu techniques, creating a raging wind and fire. A bunch of garbage turned into ashes in incredulous eyes. End of this chapter. Chapter 9. Preparation, Zhongren Exam. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 9 Preparation, Zhongren Exam. After dealing with everything here, Naruto and his group returned to Kiba village. They were indeed surprised that Naruto and his team encountered one of the 7 ninjas who did not execute again. Fortunately, everyone did not suffer much damage, and they were also shocked by Naruto and his team's progress. After returning to the village, I will have to carry out those boring low-level tasks again, but according to calculations, the Chinese ninja exam will soon be held. Naruto is not very concerned about the Nakano exam, and even if he encounters the strongest player, Iero, he may not necessarily lose. However, there will be one of the most difficult people to deal with during the Nakano exam, known as Orochimaru. With Naruto's current strength, even with the use of Spiral Maru and Flying Thunder God, it is unlikely that they can defeat Orochimaru with all their moves. The two sides are currently not at the same level, and there is an insurmountable gap between the upper ninja and shadow levels. If hit by the 5-element seal of Orochimaru, it wouldn't be a fun thing. Although Zillai will also help lift it later, Naruto doesn't want to take such a risk. When it comes to it, we can only rely on the Flying Thunder God to escape, but Orochimaru is also a rare opponent. Even if we want to escape, we cannot escape from the beginning. It seems that we need to put in some effort on Lei Dun's side. In terms of Raidun, it can be said that Kakashi has exceptional skills, and with Kakashi replicating thousands of ninjutsu techniques, his understanding of Raiden can reach a very high level. When Naruto heard that he wanted to learn Raiden Kakashi, he could only start with the various changes in Raiden. Unlike simply learning a certain Raiden, Naruto wanted to develop a unique ninjutsu in his own way. To be precise, we need to find a way to develop a ninjutsu similar to Thunder Shadow. Firstly, it is necessary to start with the changes in the form of thunder attributes. Unlike Kakashi's simple focus on the palm of the hand, Naruto attempts to form a armor like lightning that covers the entire body. However, this attempt carries risks, as one failure could result in being injured by their own ninjutsu. Therefore, Naruto only dares to use shadow clones to practice. Seeing Naruto's cultivation method, Kakashi almost became jealous. Ordinary people don't have so many chakras, not to mention practicing ninjutsu, it's already very difficult to maintain shadow clones. Although using shadow avatars for cultivation, it is indeed very difficult to control the thunder attribute chakra to that level. In addition, thunder attribute is not Naruto's best attribute, so a month of cultivation only allows Naruto to cultivate thunder attribute to cover the head and body, and not to the limbs. The original plan was to cultivate the ultimate form change before practicing the nature change, but now it seems that there is no time left. We can only learn about the changes in nature first. Even with Naruto's current talent and a large number of shadow clones practicing together, it took a whole week to master the changes in nature. However, just mastering the changes in nature is not enough, and we need to integrate the changes in nature into the changes in form. It can be said that this step is the most difficult, but only by achieving it can it be considered a basic success. In the process of fusion, it is almost impossible to control the powerful chakra every time. It is indeed difficult to control the changes in form and properties at the same time. Although reducing the amount of chakra is relatively easy to control, it loses its power. It seems that it can only be achieved through persistent practice. Moreover, during the practice process, Naruto also found that the larger the range covered by ninjutsu, the more difficult it is to control. Whenever Naruto is doing those boring tasks, he is thinking about new ninjutsu and can't help but think of Raikiko's ninjutsu, which can not only form Raiden armor, but also activate cells to improve speed. But Lei Ying's ninjutsu seems to be triggered from the whole body. Thinking of this, Naruto suddenly realized that using a method similar to that of 1,000 birds to release chakras from his hands to perform general ninjutsu is naturally possible. However, the ninjutsu developed by Naruto not only needs to be released, but most importantly, it needs to be maintained, or in other words, Naruto's ninjutsu maintenance is more important than release. No wonder it has been failing all along. It turned out that there was a problem with the train of thought. So, Naruto began practicing condensing chakras in other parts of his body. Although the difficulty was not high, it was not easy to maintain it all the time. Fortunately, Naruto's chakra control ability was already very good before, and he didn't expect to achieve it in just one day after finding the right idea. Although he couldn't cover his whole body for the time being, he was still able to protect the key points. Moreover, Naruto vaguely felt that if he could further enhance his control, it seemed like he could increase his speed. However, the Nakano exam was about to arrive, and when Naruto saw Kanjiro appear in Kiba village, he knew that the Nakano exam was about to begin. However, the first thing Kanjiro did when he appeared was to bully the child of Kiba. Naruto kicked Kanjiro back and protected the bullied Kiba Maru behind him. I can't stand Kiba bullying children just now. Putting aside the admiration on Kayamaru's face, it aroused the interest of the subsequent arrival of me, Ai Luo. I call me Ai Luo, and you. Naruto Vortex. As the three of them left, a sentence came. Naruto Vortex. I'm very interested in you. Naruto couldn't help but laugh at this, as he should have been interested in Sasuke. Not long after, the third-generation Hokage asked Kakashi to discuss the China Ninja exam. Kakashi was full of confidence in the three Naruto, especially Naruto, so he recommended them to participate in the China Ninja exam. However, Sasuke and Sakura conducted the test for conservatism, but both passed smoothly. So, all three of them applied for the Zhongren exam. End of this chapter. Chapter 10. Zhongren exam. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 10 Zhongren exam. After some twists and turns, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura went to submit their application. The low-level illusion at the entrance was easily unlocked by Sasuke and Sakura, and Naruto remained silent. When Xiao saw Naruto, he just nodded. However, Xiao still had to challenge Sasuke next, because Naruto's teammates were definitely not too bad. Although it was the first time we met, we still fell hopelessly in love with Sakura. Unfortunately, with thick eyebrows, he was the type that Sakura disliked. Sasuke is also a belligerent type. After a simple conversation, the two of them start to fight, and Sasuke, who has opened his Sharingan, can easily see through the opponent's movements, even ordinary ninjutsu. However, Xiao belongs to the pure body art of ninjas, and after several attempts, Sasuke constantly suffered losses. Although he could see through the opponent's movements, he couldn't keep up with his own movements at all. Xiao's series of punches, kicks could only defend Sasuke. However, in the face of Xiao's powerful power, using both hands to resist for defense was basically ineffective. And Naruto has no intention of taking action. In Naruto's view, Sasuke needs to take more blows to grow. Just as the outcome was about to be determined, Kai appeared in time to stop Xiao, and then, for the strange behavior of the master and disciple, Naruto and his three companions were covered in beads of sweat. However, Naruto highly recognizes Kai's strength. Opening the 8 gates can surpass the power of Hokage, and most people may be instantly killed. Although the 8 gates are all time limited and risky ninjutsu, their power cannot be denied. However, this way of cultivation is clearly not suitable for Naruto. Kai's appearance also shocked Sasuke and Sakura, while also making Sasuke and Sakura eager to become stronger. There was a small incident in the middle, and soon I officially went to take the Chinese ninja exam. When I walked into the venue, I found that there were all older people, like Naruto, who was 12 or 13 years old and could be called little ghosts. I didn't want to be too eye-catching, so I pulled Sasuke Sakura towards the corner. But the kind-hearted pharmacist Do still ran over to explain the basic situation of the Chinese ninja exam to them, which frightened Xiao quite a bit. The first exam is about to take place soon, and IBIShi's exam rules and extremely difficult questions have indeed scared most candidates. However, Naruto himself has a good knowledge and won't get a 0 score without cheating. Therefore, passing this type of written exam is naturally easy. But I did experience a variety of cheating techniques, or rather the techniques of collecting intelligence. But what interests Naruto is indeed the upcoming second exam, which may face a battle of life and death, and will definitely face the strongest opponent to date, Orochimaru. Just as the first exam was over, Yusho washed Red Bean appeared in the exam room. I was surprised that there were as many as 26 groups left behind, but it would definitely be reduced to less than half in the future. So, I led all the students to the location of the second exam, Death Forest. The name of the exercise venue really lives up to its name, so a death agreement must be signed before entering. After signing the agreement, the rules will be introduced. Each group will carry one scroll, namely the Book of Heaven and the Book of Earth, but they must collect 2 and reach the middle tower to be considered as passing, which means that at most half of the people will pass. And it is necessary to stay in the dead forest for at least 5 days and provide food and accommodation for 5 days on your own. Each group should submit 3 consent forms in exchange for a scroll, choose an entry time, and enter the death forest at the same time. In this way, it is not known where the other teams are at the entrance, or which scroll they are holding, which person is holding the scroll. Quickly, everyone submitted their consent forms, changed the scrolls, chose different entrances, and entered the death forest at the same time. The scrolls of the Naruto group were naturally handed over to the strongest Naruto. With a start, everyone quickly entered the forest of death. Not long after entering, I had already heard someone scream. It was obvious that they had been killed. Naruto discovered that someone was secretly following them, so he used an excuse to leave. Soon, the enemy transformed into Naruto to deceive Sakura and Sasuke. Unfortunately, Sasuke saw through it at first glance and immediately started fighting with the person who came, but this person's skills were obviously not as good as Sasuke's, and soon he fled in despair. At this moment, Naruto was hiding in the grass because he noticed that there were enemies hiding elsewhere, ready to take action. What made Naruto laugh was that this enemy had transformed into Naruto again, but was still recognized by Sasuke. Seeing that the transformation technique was meaningless, he untied it and asked his companions to leave, leaving him to handle it alone. And the next move was even more incomprehensible. He actually knew that Naruto and the others were holding the Book of Heaven, and then took out his own Book of Earth to show Sasuke. This was clearly not in line with common sense, but next, he actually swallowed the scroll in his hand. Seeing this move, Sakura and Sasuke were just surprised, but Naruto's pupils shrank and he could swallow anything in his stomach. He was also teasing Sasuke and him to take action. This person must be Orochimaru, and he didn't expect to appear so quickly. From the current situation, it seems that he has not yet discovered Naruto hiding in the dark, but even if the trio lacks one person, even an idiot knows that the other person is temporarily absent, let alone Orochimaru, who has extremely rich combat experience. So, at most, Orochimaru only temporarily doesn't know Naruto's specific location, or chooses to ignore it even though he knows his own location. Because Orochimaru knows the power of Itachi, in his opinion, only Sasuke with the Sharingan can become a strong person, and people without Uchiha bloodline cannot activate the bloodthirsty Sharingan. Currently, only Sasuke is known to have this bloodthirsty limit, except for Itachi. But that also requires strength that Sasuke will have when he grows up. At this moment, Sasuke has already been defeated by the killing aura of Orochimaru alone. Faced with Orochimaru's killing aura, Sasuke and Sakura cannot move at all. At this moment, Orochimaru's gaze turned to the nearby grass and said, "When are you planning to hide? Aren't you coming out yet?" End of this chapter.